Gather together, children of light. We have a story to share, the first of many. It all began with a glimmer in the dark unknown. For a millennium, a young sun god explored the cosmos. He grew strong and gained great knowledge on a divine quest for a matching planet to fulfill his existence. He was our sun god, Atia. Finally, he discovered our beautiful Lunacia. Here life began and blossomed in his loving embrace. But the cosmos is full of riddles, and wherever life reigns, corruption follows. The Chimera descended and infected noble Atia with their venom. Yet the sun's heart remained full of hope. He collapsed, offering that pulse to keep light alive. And from the ashes of the all-loving God, the supreme Axies were born and began to fight. They were outnumbered by the wicked legions, yet pushed forward and were winning the war. Atia's legacy was powering them to victory. But desperate Agonia, Lord of Chimeras, attempted a final, deadly ruse. He sacrificed himself to destroy the moon, allowing the Chimeras to continue their assault. The moon was broken, and many foes remained. The Axies survived, but their power faded. Falling back, they placed moon shards atop ancient totems to power new settlements for their resistance. These are just the first pages of the stories we will tell together. The tales of Lunacia.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Axie Infinity Origins Pro Cup. Here with you, Nick Stape, and right by my side, Ruthless Reg. What up, man?
Hello, hello. It is an exciting day. It is the Axie Infinity Origins Pro Cup, created and hosted by AMPGuild. It's going to be a wild, wild day today. I am excited. We are in the final leg, the final stretch of this Pro Cup. And it's going to be a wild, wild one. Stay tuned. It's going to be a wild ride, everyone. It's going to be fun.
And it's especially important to note that this is kind of the first official Axie Origins tournament held or organized primarily by in Thailand. So although this is online, the team and the rest of the crew that made it possible from Thailand, the game is growing in Thailand. By the way, man, I went to Thailand to Bangkok. I think it was 2 months ago. We also held our first official meetup in Thailand at that time. It was the place was buzzing, lots of people there, and very, very talented players that I got to meet during that day.
Wow, exciting stuff. And to imagine that before it was a totally different scene in Thailand, and now Axie is booming in Thailand to the point that these tournaments are happening. The prize pool is insane. The players playing are wild. The prize pool is $9,000, $9,000 US. This is no joke. This is a big event. This is a huge amount. There were a lot of participants to begin with. Over 475 participants started off during this event. However, it has now boiled down to the top 4 players.
Man,
for 9,000.
The fat has been trimmed. 475. We're down to 4. And man, it's so crazy. When I went to Thailand, we had kind of a fun bring your own device tournament. So I wouldn't it's not an official, it's just for fun. But we had a small prize going. And man, so I joined. I was there obviously as a member of Axie Infinity of Skywaves, but I also joined into the fun and played with the guys, right? Dude, every single person that was playing in that tournament was at a challenger rank, and at the time I was
they're committed.
So I was like, yo, everyone here is just gonna wreck me, but it was fun. I've had a few wins, but it was generally like very fun.
Nice.
A lot of Thai like top Thai players actually that I think most of the community don't know about, but I think a couple of them finished inside the top 10. I think Tricks definitely I think finished top 5 or top 4. And like a few others were inside that top 100. So booming.
Wow.
Booming.
Yeah, great stuff. What do you feel about it coming forward now that this is in the finals? What do you feel about Thailand in the future? Will they be a big part of the Axie community going forward?
Definitely. You know, I always believe that Thailand, like Thai players, are very passionate, talented, and loyal. And I say this as a former. I played Ragnarok. I played Ragnarok
Awesome.
online for a while, and a lot of like Thai players, you know, were dominating, and you know, seeing that and seeing the passion of the community there, I'm confident that the Axie scene in Thailand will just continue to grow from there.
Ooh, it's gonna be a hype. It's gonna be a hype day, event, everything, the future. It's just pumping right now. Everything about Axie, everything about Thailand, everything about this tournament is gonna be an insane ride. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be part of this journey right now. It's gonna be wild.
Same. So I think we're gonna be able to see the brackets in shortly.
Let's
So we're gonna
go.
we're gonna be looking at the brackets, and there we go. All right, let's see. What do we have here, Reg?
Awesome. So it looks like we've got one upper bracket match, 2 lower bracket matches, and then the championship for the day. And we're starting off with a lower bracket match, which would be Tons versus Sushinobi. It's gonna be an insane one, followed by Allheal and Keylord to determine who is gonna move down to the lower bracket for their first lower bracket match, because they'd come from the upper bracket. And then one of them would be chillin', would be waiting in the championship. That is the game plan of these players in the upper bracket. Lower bracket, nonetheless, is gonna be an exciting one. All of these names are familiar names. These are competitors that are very strong in the Axie Infinity tournament setting. So this is gonna be a wild one. And we also have the document with us that has all of their Axie pools. And what do you feel about this right now, Nix?
Well, seeing the Axies, man, like a few things stand out for me. One, like I see like some similarities in the way of their thinking with kind of the rosters that they brought out. Second, man, Sushinobi has like 3 Axies in his inventory. So I don't know if that's confidence. I don't know if that's overconfidence, or you know, you do you, Sushi. Like, let's see how those 3 go, like ride and die. But those are like the things that stood out to me, and it also tells me a lot, you know, about the existing meta, and makes me excited for the future meta, as you guys have maybe seen the card leaks hosted by Reg a couple of days ago. And yeah, I'm just excited to get this going.
Yep. And if I understand correctly, this is a locked Axie pool, right? Which means that whatever Axies they started with, this is what they are bringing to the end. And aside from that, Sushinobi, that means he only brought these 3 Axies from the beginning. So
Yeah.
that's wild.
So let's give him the benefit of doubt and see how he fares in the first match later. But we'll take you know, this time as well to thank the official guild partners and official influencers just for this stream. So we have Ancient 8, MetaGuild, CTG, YGGC, and I think the rest, that's Morpheus League and YGGC. So how about the influencer partners?
Yep. Huge shout out to our influencer partners. We've got Stalker Gamer and NFT, Hothead Gamer. Huge shout out as well to Crypto Mint, Axie TH, Axie Thailand, Axie Infinity Thailand Community, and Code Meme. Thank you to all of our partners. It is a wild ride so far.
So I missed OG Esports, sorry, and Chomp Squad. So shout out to all these guilds who are supporting this tournament, and of course we're all, you know, pushing Axie forward. You know, without guilds, we're not going to be at the place where we're at. So you shout out the guilds, and of course the creators and influencers who are riding with us as well.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. This is exciting. We are building together right now. It is a wild journey so far. Stay tuned. We are gonna be starting round number 1 of the final leg of the final day. This is the lower bracket, the first of the lower bracket matchups, which is gonna be very exciting.
There we go.
Here we go. We've got Sushinobi on the left playing against Tons from JM Wildcard. So Sushinobi is from YGG slash SAA. I'm not familiar with SAA, but it looks like he is bringing...
I think Sushinobi Axie Academy or something.
Oh, his own Axie Academy. That is wild. That is insane. This guy is a monster. Look at that. Bringing the only Axies in his roster to the table. These are the 3 Axies right there. Tons is choosing to go for Rage Comp as well. So very interesting. They have some differences though.
Love it. I love look at the red of Sushinobi's imposter bug. It's a different kind of red, right?
It is a dark red by the looks of it. It is interesting though that this is a smart counter to what we've seen in the leaderboard so far, where instead of running an ant bug, you run a fake Shiba Axie. That's actually a bug, just to hold the collect and protect, but all it's doing is actually raging with the Shiba, just to add rage stacks, and then just holding the collect and protect to draw extra cards. So very cool to see this.
You get that Shiba value and the protection. So I actually don't like the taunt bug in the middle, because sometimes you risk it and then sometimes it backfires on you. And now we see the rage turn from Sushi.
Here we go. It's a big one coming in. Little Branch just knocks that Axie out. And then a Belieber. Is this enough to clear the bug? It's not enough to clear the bug. That is wild. That means this bug is still alive. Now, Tons can choose to not use the bug, but if Tons draws a lot of bug cards, then this bug is going to go down. That is the problem right there. That is the power of Bleed. So here, if he uses any bug card, you can't use the bug card because that bug card is going to go down. And that becomes very risky. Yep. Oh, still alive. Wow. That is big. This is a huge Shiba coming in from our Sushinobi with the 3 Axie comp. Taking the win.
Wow, that was crazy. You saw the difference, right? Like, you saw the difference of the strategies. Like, they both wanted the same thing. They both wanted to rage, but the win condition is different for each player, and Sushi got the upper hand on this run.
Yep. And I believe that having that Shiba bug, that is quite a unique Axie right there. Like, we saw that late in action in the end of the season where people started playing these bugs, but we don't see enough of these bugs, and that is actually the power level. Because what you do is you don't even ant anymore. You don't have the ant, right? Which means you're an offensive team fully. All you're doing with your frontline Axie is attacking. Everyone's just attacking. There's no ant shield. There's none of that business. So it's very interesting to see that.
The few tournaments that I've casted before this, I've always seen that mid ant bug, and it's always 50-50. Sometimes it backfires, and for me, like, Sushi had like the more consistent lineup. We'll see if Tons adjusts, and we know Sushi ain't adjusting because he only has 3 Axies. So I think we're just about ready for game 2. Let's go.
Yeah, very cool to see. Let's have a look. We do see that Sushi is opting to go Cottontail really early right now, swinging with a Little Branch. Look at that. No chill whatsoever. Usually, the play style of these rage comps is you hold the Cottontail until the rage turn. But we see Sushi just going ham, playing everything, which is very, very refreshing to see. And here we go. There's a lot of action from both sides. No chill whatsoever. Is Tons gonna use the ant is the question. Does he go? Oh, goes for the ant. Opts to not use the extra energy at all. Goes for the defensive play. Is he gonna get punished? There's a big Shiba coming in. There's a Belieber coming in, but that's done. That's the rage turn of Sushinobi finished with a 3-card attack.
Crazy. Well, we see Tons here has some couple great options, but he's just trying to put some damage and put some pressure on the front line. And as we saw earlier, like the front line that falls down first, makes the other team feel vulnerable, especially with this gameplay. And we see a 3v2 right now. How do you feel? Like, is Sushi in trouble?
Sushi might be in trouble. Sushi needs to rage again to get that advantage back in the game. Because right now, all Sushi can do is just go ham, attack, no rage stacks just yet. But then there's follow-up attacks. This Ronin is big. This is a 4 energy Ronin. 272 damage.
Oh, 3 HP.
3 HP and the dream is what that plant is asking for. But here is the rage turn of Tons. Look at that. Sushi might actually still be alive. If Sushi is able to rage this turn and have a Ronin with a little piece, that could be the game right there.
Oh no.
Oh, this could be enough. This looks like it's enough for Sushinobi. Boom! And the Ronin gets in there. Lucky draws from Sushinobi. Wow! Look at that.
Like, he could have drawn he could have had two revenge cards, but he drew just the exact number of offensive cards that he needed, and the rage.
That's true. That is true. Exactly in the turn he needed it as well, because Sushi's hand just got recycled. So now that deck can be drawn totally randomly out of a pool of 16 cards, and drew the winning hand to get the victory. Wow.
I was actually ready to kind of put Sushi, when I saw the confused, I was like, oh,
it's over.
Confused and the revenge sword, right? I was about ready to say, oh, okay, that's gonna bite him in the butt, with the early cocktail. And then it just the card dealer basically just gave him everything.
Here you go. Here's your win. That's so cool to see, though.
5 degrees, right? And Tons is not out yet. It's a 2-0 lead, very comfortable lead. But as we know, in Axie Infinity Origins Esports scene, a 2-0 lead is nothing. We've seen the players
come sweeps, right? Commonplace. It is very, very commonplace. But I am impressed. This is the only team of Sushinobi, and he's 2-0 again.
Imagine, he had so much confidence in that build, and so far he's showing us that confidence was warranted, right? He's confident because he did well. So that actually gives me this vibe. Is that, what do you think, Reg, as a pro player, is there the sense if you roll with 3 Axies and you play with it thousands of games of that specific, you become very good at that team, right? It kind of gives you that confidence to feel like you can beat anyone, basically.
Exactly. Because what happens is, if for example you're a master of the one team, what happens is you already know all of the numbers. You know what a Shiba attack would do against a Pangolin, what a Shiba attack would do against a vulnerable Axie with Pangolin, or an attack against a shielded Axie with Collect Protect. So you know all of these numbers already. And combined with the fact that you have a very strong team, plus your familiarity with all of these card plays. Because in Axie, in Origins, what happens is you only got 1 minute to decide your turn. And if you've got this full mastery of your team, you can do it quickly. For example, you have a big attack. You know how much damage you'll dish out on this specific Axie, how much your Ronin will get to the other Axie as well, and all of these add up. So by reducing your pool to 3 Axies, you reduce you reduce your outs, yes, because you have less comps, but you also get to focus fully on that team. You now have everything against whatever Axies are being brought against you. And then you can also play around with your runes and charms as well, because it's a very offensive team. You don't have this restriction of you need Cocoon on Ant. There's nothing like that, because now what you can do is you can have Rocket Stamp if you wanted to direct damage the backline and things like that. So there's a lot less decision making in terms of comp to use in the fight. But now you've got a focused decision making on your runes and charms, on your plays, because it's all streamlined right now, and I think that is what Sushinobi is showcasing to us in his comp right there.
And I think like it works if you have a really good team. Like I'm not saying like obviously like, if you just have one team but that team like can't like isn't super good, like it's gonna be a problem. But if you have one good team that where you can win at least like 70% of your matches on a good day, like you can roll with that and like just take the 70%. If you lose the 30%, whatever, maybe you get lucky, unlucky, whatever. But you're basically accepting that fact. And I love that point about having focus. Like you're focused, you know that this is how you're gonna lose. This is how you're gonna win. This is how much damage you're gonna do. So yeah, it puts a lot of things into perspective. And I wonder if that was his strategy all along, or I'm sure I know Sushi, so I know he has a bunch of Axies. He's always trying to sell me that frosty Axie of his. So Axies. But I'm just curious, like, what if that was his way of thinking, and like, you know, it can also be like a mind game for people, right? Like, because if you can, I believe in tournaments like this, players can scout their opponents beforehand, right? So just seeing that there's just 3 Axies, like, is he like saying like making people feel overconfident, like, oh, I have a counter to Sushi, but then he has only 3, but like, oh, you really think you have a counter versus me? Or like, are you sure?
Try. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What happens in game 3 though, like Tons obviously needs the win, because if he loses, he's out in the lower right. He could still technically make a run to the championship, right?
I believe when you lose the lower bracket, you're knocked out. So Sushi moves forward in the lower bracket while Tons gets knocked out. So Tons is make or break right now in this last game. This is what I believe.
My bad. So Tons needs to win this. So Sushi wins this. He wins the series. He has quite the climb, but he still has a shot at championship.
You're right. You're right.
Game 3 is ready, so let's go. Let's see what's up.
Let's see what is Tons gonna bring to the table. Let's see. All right, sticking to the same comp. Very interesting. So this means that there's a lot of cycling happening as well. Using one Cottontail to attack with a Shiba. And do you use the ant as well? I believe so. Oh, you chose to return the ant instead. Very interesting to see that. So what's happening is there's now a second turn where Tons would be able to shield up with the ant. So very, very cool to see that. And here we go. What's gonna happen is the bug of Tons will get potentially knocked out on this turn, because Sushi is definitely raging next turn is the thing. So that is gonna be what is the outs here? Does this bug go down? It looks like that bug might be alive by the looks of it.
A lot. He absorbed some damage there.
Wow, yeah. That is big. That is a lot of shields. And what happens, Tons is able to capitalize and draw cards from the collect and protect. So this is a big turn for Tons right now. Here we go.
Clears him out, clears out the bug. Again, we see Tons again. This always happens. He always has the numbers, but it ends up kind of losing in that mid game. So let's see if something changes this time around.
That's true. One interesting thing though is Tons has used all of the Cottontails right now, I believe. That is no more gains from Tons' side, which means it is a 1v2 scenario right now, because that plant went down anyway. So now what's happening is Tons able to clear these Axies right now? Catfish is gonna heal a lot of HP back up. Is this enough to survive a barrage from Sushi though, is the question. Tons is not out just yet, but Sushinobi might just actually get the win, and it looks like Sushi's gonna win. Wow. What just happened?
Quick work. Always. So that to me, and I don't want to like put anyone down, obviously, but I've always had that feeling against the midline taunt bug. I've seen this happen. Like I've casted 3 tournaments before this. Just like I've been just getting, I'm new to this, and I've been like wanting to do a lot of this. So it's actually been fun so far. But I've always seen that midline bug that taunts, and it always ends up this way. Like I feel like it's a really good Axie, but very rarely do you really get any value from it. I feel like the risk reward ratio using that midliner is not enough to warrant, like as we saw here clearly, right? And if you notice. Did you notice, Reg? Like, 3v3, they had kind of like the same runes anyway, but Sushinobi's Axies actually had higher HP than Ton's, even though they both had Gaius. So it was also the charm selection, which I think was key because we've seen a lot of times where Ton's like just died because of like an X number of HP, like he needed, right? And I actually think the charm selections are a bit underrated in these tournaments because sometimes it's those little numbers, that little math that gives you the edge. And I think Sushinobi, so far, that helped him a lot here.
And because it's the only team, he knows what charms to use to get the maximum HP, to get the maximum attack off. And yep. And as you said, I do agree that having that aggressive comp versus the hybrid comp with the Ant, I think there's an advantage towards the aggressive comp as well. There's an argument though to use the Ant sometimes. Like for example, you can use the Ant to counteract blackmail. If for example people are running the blackmail for the taunt, just so that your carry, the beast, doesn't die. There's that. There's also the play of catching the believer so that it doesn't split up to the Axies so that you don't get rage stacks. But I think, as you said, the more aggressive comp was the advantage in this matchup, and it was very clear in that match that it looked close, like one attack difference, but the one attack was actually the Ant turn, was actually the defensive turns as well that we have been seeing. So there's that actually changes the pace of the game.
In my head, right? Like in my head, when you use Ant, you're basically saying that the plant up front is more valuable to me than the midline bug. Like for me, like that's what it is, because you know that bug is going to be wiped out, and I just don't believe that is the case. Like I don't believe that's a gamble worth making, and so far like I've been seeing that a lot, and there's definitely like a use case for that. Tons is a great player. It's just that it's so hard to put like a 4-turn taunt to yourself when you're facing not much firepower.
Makes sense actually. And it is scary as well in the sense that which one do you prioritize? Because there's that option. You've got the option of keeping the bug and losing the plant. You lose the cottontails, you lose the extra energy, or you keep the plant, you lose the bug, and you lose the extra card draw. So there's that you have to weigh. The only thing is the Shiba team, the Shiba bug team from Sushi has no option. Sushi is prioritizing the cottontails because the bug is the one that always goes down first. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe there's also that for example, maybe Cottontail is just the more valuable card. We don't know. But so far, Sushi has been dominant in this match with only one team. So it is cool to see.
Excited to see what happens for Sushi in the next turn. But we're going to go in a quick break and watch this video as we prepare for the match, the next series. So stick around, guys, and let's see what's up with this commercial break.
See you in a bit. We are back. It is the Axie Origins Pro Cup 2022 event, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the lower bracket right now. We just saw Sushinobi demolish tons using 3 Axies in a 10 Axie pool tournament. And has moved forward in the event. That is such impressive gameplay coming in from Sushinobi. And that is actually our first match. There is a lot more coming in. It is exciting stuff. I am Ruthless Reg. I am joined by my friend and colleague and co-caster Nix and Diego. We are having a blast right now. We've seen a lot of different tweaks towards the Rage comps, and it is exciting to see this day move forward.
Right? Like, is this the last dance for Rage comps? I don't know. But yeah, it's exciting to see, and particularly the match, the 3-0. So Sushinobi with a convincing 3-0 basically bulldozed tons there. It's interesting for me, like, to see Sushi had that pure offense, kind of like he ran an offensive lineup, and you saw Tons kind of like hybrid, a little defense, a little offense, and for this, like, for that, like, it just didn't work out for him, and it's also like very telling to me, and I wanted to hear your thoughts, because we keep talking about Sushinobi having 3 Axies only, but Tons actually had 10. So I wonder, like, for you, like, Raj, as a competitor, like, what do you think about that? Like, should Taunts have adjusted, or if you were in his shoes, would you have adjusted, like, especially when you were down 2-0, or when he was down 2-0?
Yeah, based on Tons' comp then, there were AoE options, there were single target options as well. I think if I was behind in a 2-0 deficit, I would have switched my comp just to try something else. Just to see what can destroy Sushinobi's team. Especially that the only advantage you have at that point is your comps. Because you have a full 10 roster. Which means you can take the risk, potentially, while Sushinobi cannot adjust. So I think you switch it up. I think that is the game plan right there. But we have seen Sushinobi's comp just be here in the last day, be very explosive, very powerful. So it still might not be enough to win. But I take the risk if I were in Tons' shoes.
I just saw an interesting Dawn lineup, so hope we saw that. But let's move on now to the new match of the upper bracket. It's Keylord versus Allheal. Let's see how this match goes.
Very interesting. Both these players are playing the same comps that we saw with Tons, with the Ant mid, with a hybrid defense, card draw, plus Endless Anger backliner for the carry. So yeah, both of them are gonna use their ants, because that's what you do when you usually have the ants in your opening hand because of Cocoon. So you just use that and then try to disperse the damage as much as possible. Try to reduce the damage on the bug, reduce the damage on the plant, and then the first one to rage better actually wins the game. And this is how this match plays out. Usually big vulnerable coming in from Keylord's side, that would buy a lot of attacks. That would increase a lot of attack damage. Here we go. A rage turn is coming in from Allheal's side. Here we go.
He has enough to clear out this. Oh, yeah, definitely more than enough. Clear that one out.
There's a follow-up even of spike queuing to the plant of Keylord's side. So that is a big attack from Allheal, because usually you want to reduce the chances of the beast drawing beast cards, but this is a lot of beast cards right now. There is no chill whatsoever from Keylord's side.
Is he gonna use all the Cottontails now?
I think he just does, because now is the only time to clear as many Axies as possible. And look at that, a big Ronin. Big Ronin, 381. That was a vulnerable Axie. So all of those energies they stacked up, plus the extra 20% bonus damage. That was why Keylord was able to swing with that big of an attack.
Did you see
But
that Believer though? It just hit one Axie. I think that's huge.
that is huge. This is gonna slow Allheal down. Instead of raging next turn, Allheal
Yeah.
needs to play a card to rage instead. So that is gonna be big.
Let's see that
But is
breaks him. Yeah.
yeah, it is scary to be on Allheal side. Is this enough to win the game though? Is the question. It does not look like it. This Ronin does not look like it's enough. Is that enough? Oh wow, only 36 HP left. That
no,
is big. But is
Keylord had the
Keylord
up, though.
able to win? It looks like it. Look at the back and forth.
Oh!
Little Branch comes in, 36 HP, and the Dream Keylord gets the win. Wow.
That
Very
like
cool.
the Believer. We saw how the Believer he got screwed basically because it just hit the plant. If had it hit the backliner, he would have had enough rage, fury count, so that he would have raged that. So without sacrificing an energy card, another energy and attack card, so he could have won basically. Like he would have 100% won the match
Actually-
had the Believer hit.
Actually, based on the cards that Allheal drew, it might not still be enough because we only saw Little Branch, Ronin, Sword, and 2-0 costs.
Oh, no,
so
but if he used the branch, he had the Mask of Frenzy. I think that puts him on the rage. He would have dealt. I think he just lacked 30 damage, right? So I'm sure
Yeah.
like one of those cards, because he was already in Fury, would have dealt more damage, therefore clearing out the backline.
potentially.
Right?
So yeah,
Game
yeah,
also
makes sense. It is. This is how these rage teams are actually. It is the better card draw, plus the better rage turn, plus the maximized use of the Cottontails. If you're able to do those three things, you're able to get ahead. And we saw that what happened was there was a good rage turn from Allheal's side, but just not enough. There was just not enough to follow up, and that was, I think, the problem with that
It
comp.
was so close. It was so close, and these matches end very quickly because of the pace of both teams. So
Very aggressive, yeah.
see some adjustment in the next. I think we are just about ready to see. Did Allheal make some adjustments? Let's see game number 2.
Interesting. Oh, look at that. There are some adjustments. Allheal is now on the right side, while Keylord is on the left side now. Keylord moved the bug to the back line. This
Yeah.
is to protect against any backdoor moves that Allheal might try if Allheal chose to go for an AoE comp. But Allheal stuck to his guns and chose to go single target. This is a tiny dino comp though,
That's
which
a new
means
one,
that
right? That beast is a new beast that he put out, the tiny dino.
that's a new beast. Yeah, that's a new
Nice.
beast. What Allheal was using before was a Shiba. And this one actually, in theory, is better against the mirror because you have less cards to rotate with because you keep the
Right.
tiny dino. Which means when you rage, you have a tiny dino to use,
Right.
definitely.
And
But
it hurts. It hurts.
it's a
range
big
tiny dino.
it's a big attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
anyone-
problem is there's no dino. It's not in the opening hands of Allheal. You want the dino to be in the first 10 cards so that you have a good opportunity. There is this big turn though where Allheal is able to capitalize and end the bug, and sometimes that's enough to get the win. That is
Let's see.
sometimes the key. But is this gonna be enough is the question. There's a lot of big attacks coming in. Believer is gonna spread out
Ooh.
and dish out a lot of damage everywhere, and an Axie to seal the deal. Wow.
That was a big turn. Actually, they both had huge turns, and we're basically now at a 2v2. Obviously, the HP is different, but interesting to see what happens next here. We see the vulnerable on the plant. What would you do here? Like with the tiny dino, like are
You
you
keep
really,
it, I think.
you keep it until it hurts the most, right?
Yeah.
but he
But
used it.
I think what Allheal was trying to see is do the math. And what's gonna happen is if Allheal uses the Axie Kiss, it's not enough to clear the
enough.
plant. So
Right.
he needed to use the Dino to have less cards to be used on this beast. So just went for the Dino at that point,
He
and is
gambled.
trying to end now. This is Allheal's turn to just dish out a lot of damage. Is he able to do that? There's a big attack coming in. This is gonna be huge. Boom,
Oh, no.
141 damage, and then boom,
Oh, wow.
125, and gets the win. Well
Wow.
done to Allheal. Wow. So that
That was a
Axie kiss early to the back
Yeah.
line because the Dino was used actually made Allheal get the win for this
Right.
match.
It paid off.
So
The
cool,
gamble
very
paid
smart,
off.
very smart. Yeah, the gamble
Wow.
paid off.
1-1. This might be a long series, guys. Remember, this is a best of 5 series, and we're just seeing. We saw now an adjustment kind of pay off, right? But
Yeah.
it's interesting to me actually that Keylord also adjusted, even if he got the 1-0. All right, like
Yeah.
even if he got the first win, and that's always kind of a debate, you know, mentally, like as a pro player, right? You always think like, okay, I won, like, do I stick with my guns or do I anticipate his adjustment and try to work around that? And sometimes that will bite you in the butt, right? Like
Yeah.
I saw what happened now. Like it was a clean, basically clearance from Allheal.
Yeah. There's that argument where do you overthink and then just mess up your game plan instead of just staying true to what won you the first game? But then there's that argument of they know that that's what you do, and then you counter that, and then do you do that? So it gets crazy.
So Sushinobi is a genius because he doesn't have to think about those things anymore. He only has 3 actions.
Just
so.
chilling every game. If anything, Sushi's just thinking about runes and charms. But aside from that, and positioning as well. But aside from that, nothing else. Just that comp. So yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. We're on to round number 3. Right now, we're gonna jump in. They have decided. This is really cool to see. Ooh, interesting. So
Now, Dino is in the midline.
yeah. The Dino is in the midline. This is what you do when you try to counter AoE comps that actually have the little branch AoE because those have sun stamps. So now the bug is gonna catch the sun stamp if you go there. So it does not look like that's the case. So it is interesting to see this in action. We see Keylord though using the Shiba front, which means this is a very offensive team. And it's interesting as well because this is what the bug looks like from Sushinobi. A Shiba front, but instead of collect protect, this one is pangolin. So we see the inherent advantage of the collect and protect because those draw you extra cards, those give you 50 shield. And now this is the alternative. You go very defensive with 15% reduced damage. Is this gonna buy a lot of time though? Ooh, big turn.
Yeah, it's huge.
Boom!
But,
Wow. That's enough.
Because if you look at it, like Allheal had so much shield that it was even the last turn that he still had good HP, but Ronin rage is just too much.
Yep, it is too much. And Keylord actually successfully did the condition. So the condition, if you're on the draw, because Allheal started, right? So Allheal has the better rage turn on turn 5. But Keylord was able to clear the bug before Allheal's rage turn. So this is huge because now Allheal has this time, does not have this time to set up. This is the only big turn that Allheal will be able to utilize. He needs to capitalize right now, and it's not enough to clear the pangolin even. Wow. And now that's not gonna rage anytime soon again.
Yeah, sure. It's a 1v3 and it's so hard with such an offensive lineup. Like, I don't see how Allheal can come back from this. To be honest with you, this might be it for him.
This might be it. That is way too far to rage because it's not a Shiba Axie, so there's no Shiba +4 rage that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is only gonna be Belieber. This is only gonna be Rage from Mask of Frenzy, so it's a chill Axie at this point. Using swords, using Beliebers. The only thing is, will Allheal survive this turn. That is the only outs. But that's
hell
a
no.
raging that is a raging Axie. Not today is what Keylord is saying with that attack. Wow.
Backliner basically answered you and said, hell no, I'm gonna rage and end this.
That's wild.
So where are we sitting now? Keylord with 2 victories, right?
Yep.
And one for Allheal. So it's a 2-1 on a best of 5. So one more win and Keylord advances. And he's gonna be chilling. If Keylord wins, right, he's just gonna be sitting pretty, waiting for who faces him on a championship match, right?
Correct, indeed. Another interesting thing to see though is both players are actually running AoE comps. So we have not seen a single AoE today. Even Tons had an AoE comp in his pool as well. We did not see that as well. Are they scared of the AoEs? Are they not bringing out the AoEs? Maybe that is what you need to get that advantage. Maybe not as well. These guys have been testing and they know that there is a strong advantage with these Rage Axies single target rage. The question though is, do we go AoE or not?
We'll see if there's an adjustment that's going to happen as we go into the next match. If you're down, right? Like, when you're down, you might just want to roll the dice and use the AoE. Let's see.
I think so.
If Allheal got them.
Wow. None.
Not.
No.
Not.
No AoEs whatsoever. Choosing to keep the Dino as well, but now the Dino's in the back line. So very interesting.
Format that won him the one game, right?
Yeah. So I think this is okay as well. This is not a bad position for Allheal. But Allheal needs to draw those dinos very soon. Allheal needs that extra advantage of the tiny dino. Here we go. There's an Ant. You definitely want to use Ant because your Axie in front is a plant. If that goes down, then you don't have any aggression on. You don't have any protection anymore on your carry, which is in the middle. So you need to use the Ant every time. Here we go. A lot of attacks coming in. That is 8 stacks. Chooses not to rage just yet and is deciding to rage in the next turn. But this is going to be Keylord's rage turn. Allheal also chose not to use Square Teeth to not reduce shields on the bug. Here we go. There's a nerdy card draw right there. Larva is going to draw the Ronin. So here we go. It is a big attack right now. Axie Kiss coming in. Believer. There's a lot of outplay potential right here. Cottontail to heal and Ronin. Wow.
This guy's dead. This guy's dead for sure.
Fool.
Oh. He just
That
cut
is
the
going
plant
down.
right.
That plant is out of there. And now it's down to the last Axie of Allheal. And again, this is a Dino Axie, which means this will only rage once. Highly unlikely.
It was very minimal because he just got the tiny dino card. He had 62 base damage.
Yep, drew the card, had to use the card because it was the rage turn.
Yeah.
And that is the downfall usually of the dino comps. If you draw it so late, you can't really maximize it is the thing. And here we go, a sword comes in, 119 HP. Is that even enough to get good damage? That does not look like it even. Wow.
Keylord basically telling Allheal good night. I got this. Go home. It's like, I got this. A Keylord. Wow.
Well done. Does Keylord get the win? Yes. Shiva, Rage 280. Boom. Done. Wow.
No words. 3-1. Congratulations, though, to Keylord from AMPGuild. Well played, as well as Allheal for the first win, actually, from the so far, from someone who eventually lost the series. It was a good series. Very curious though to see that there were no, both series we could have seen maybe an AoE adjustment. I don't know what's up, or why people are holding back on that gamble. But it's interesting to see that kind of the same patterns we saw from the first series and the second one that we've been seeing so far.
True. Yep. So maybe maybe they just feel that that is the better comp, and people might be prepared to play against the AoE as well, so they're scared to unleash the AoE at that point. But yeah, I take a risk again. Sometimes I just have to wing it. But yeah, it's gonna be very cool to see. Oh, here we go. We've got the brackets right now. Match 2 is done, so that was the upper bracket. The good thing, though, is Allheal is not out of the competition. He's still in here.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. So let me take that back. Keylord didn't say goodnight. He just say, take a nap. Take a 10-minute nap. Let's play Sushinobi. So maybe I'll still see you in the championship. So that's what Keylord said.
That is true. That is very true. So now what's gonna happen is Allheal moves to the lower bracket, is gonna face against Sushinobi, the favorite right now in the 3 Axie pool comp. So it's gonna be interesting to see
red
this.
bug. The dark. It's not just red. It's a dark red. Like I don't see.
You're right. You're right.
Oh,
Dark horse of the competition.
All right, so I think like interesting set of matches so far. And when we come back after this short break, we're gonna see Allheal versus Sushinobi. So I think let's go take a break.
Let us go. Ooh.
We are back, guys. Ruthless Reg right here with me in Mixtape. Yeah, it has been a fun Axie Infinity Origins Pro Cup so far. By the way, guys, this is the first official tournament coming out from Thailand. We're doing it online. Reg, how are you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling hyped. I am feeling a lot of hype. It's in the name itself, Axie Origins Pro Cup 2022. This is hosted and organized, created by AMPGuild, and it is a wild one so far. The prize pool is insane, 9,000 US dollars. That is a lot of cash for these players to compete for. So it is a big event, and the very first event hosted and created by people from Thailand. So now we know that Axie is a thing in Thailand as well. It is not just on our local scene. It is not just wherever we are. It is now big in Thailand, and it is exciting. It is wild. It is fun to see.
For sure, it is growing. The scene is growing, and this event, this tournament, would have been possible. Of course, first of all, before we go into the official guild partners, wouldn't have been possible without, of course, the support of the Axie Esports division.
Correct.
This is part of the Esports grant. You guys will be seeing more of these tournaments in the coming weeks, months, and by the way, there's going to be another couple of big ones in Thailand, but I'm not going to spoil that for you guys. And just go ahead and thank our awesome partners here. So let me get started with the guild partners. We have Ancient 8 Guild, Morpheus League, Meta Guild, CTG or Crit Fury Gaming, OG Esports, Chom Squad, and YGGC.
Huge shout out as well to our influencer partners. We've got Stalker Gamer and NFT, Hothead Gamer, Crypto Mint, Axie TH, which is Axie Thailand, Axie Infinity Thailand Community, and Code Meme. These are our influencer partners. These are all of our partners that made this happen as well.
Yeah, and by the way, Axie TH. So Axie TH, that group, of people were kind of the primary organizers of the first Axie Infinity meetup in Thailand. I think
nice.
last October, where I flew in. I was there, was able to spend time with the community and just see the buzz all around. They're really good players, very passionate. A lot of them are, just grinding quietly. I actually convinced a couple of them to go and stream and just stream, show more. A lot of them are shy. So a lot of these Thai players, they're really good, but they're a bit shy, to start creating content. But I hope, I hope that they kind of go ahead and stream, because they're really talented. I tell you, I got whooped by a couple of them on that mini tournament that we had back there. But yeah, they're pretty good players.
Yeah, it is good to see as well that these people are breaking out of their shell. Because I have a lot of friends as well who are actually, for example, just gamers, right? They just play these games in the comforts of their own home, and then suddenly they have this following. People want to see them in action. People want to see them streaming, showcase their talents, and suddenly you see all of these people just break out of their shell. Now suddenly we see all of these streamers, which are actually really fun to watch in an online scene. You can watch it on Twitch, you can watch it on Facebook Live, YouTube as well. There are a lot of opportunities for these people to stream, and it's cool to see that in action.
For sure, and I'm excited for for the competitive scene, Axie competitive scene in Thailand, and why not maybe next time, maybe AMPGuild organize another one, a LAN. I don't know, maybe.
That
Come on,
could
guys,
be fun.
do it. And Reg and I are already putting our names out there. We're gonna go
Easy.
We'll go. Let's go. It's pretty fun, but yeah, there's gonna be exciting things going ahead, and I think we're just about ready for our next match.
Awesome. So this is the lower bracket game number. This is the second match of the lower bracket. Whoever loses here is knocked out of the tournament. Allheal, we saw him just lose the upper bracket match. Keylord advances to the finals. And now it's Allheal versus Sushinobi right now. Sushinobi has no options for team comps. It is only this team that he is bringing to the table. It is cool to see that in action right there. And here we go.
He just went ahead and So Sushi really is just pure offense. He's like he used everything that he has.
No chill whatsoever. Is dishing out a lot of damage. Cool thing to see here though is we find a scotch tape on Sushinobi's Shiba Axie.
Right.
On the Shiba front that has a scotch tape, which means after this turn, that bug, if that bug survives,
if he survives.
If he survives, this is a rage turn though. This is a big turn. That
yeah, I don't see.
Gonna go down. That is gonna go out of there. But look at that, very chill in the placement of attacks for this Ronin to hit the midline of Sushinobi. Wow. What a big turn from Allheal right there. There's a counterattack though coming in from Sushinobi. Is this enough? It's not enough.
No.
And now Sushinobi's on the back foot.
Even the Believer betrayed him and just hit the front line.
You're right. No extra rage stacks coming in. And now all Allheal needs to do is survive, and one counterattack will get him the victory. And look at that. Ooh, sword comes in. That's not enough. But now Allheal has the dino in hand. That's going to get buffed this turn. Plus 15 damage. And this is a full-on attack from Allheal.
I think it's
done. That is over. That Axie is going down, and I think this is the first loss we've seen from Sushinobi's side on stream for today.
He went 3-0 on the first match, and sometimes that happens, right? When you don't lose at all, you have all this confidence. You haven't tasted defeat yet. Like, these things tend to happen. It was his first match after a while, so it's interesting, like, to see like how that all turned out. I kind of felt that Sushi was just playing like hardcore offense, and he was trying to like wait for that Shiba, but then we saw Allheal get exactly the perfect draw to basically eliminate that option for Sushi. So that's why we saw that 1-0 clear out by Allheal.
Yep. And another interesting thing is we see that plant as the important glue for Sushi's team, right? When Allheal was able to double kill and clear all of these utility Axies, it was down to the backliner for Sushinobi, and that is hard. That is hard to lift once you're in that situation. So there was a lot of deck manipulation that happened from Allheal's side to get to that point, with a very cool Little Branch Ronin in the end. So very cool to see.
Right. Let's see the next match. Sushi versus Allheal. I think they switched sides on the screen right here, but pretty much the same comps that they're running with.
You're right. They are sticking to their guns. Sushi does not have any options, so Sushi is gonna use this. But Allheal has won the game and has the advantage already of having a comp that worked against Sushinobi. So, yeah, choosing to stick to his guns, opting to play the same comp again. Very interesting to see that return right there, setting up for a bigger turn next turn as well. Boom. There's now a vulnerable that is big. That means that bug is gonna go down on Sushinobi's turn 5, or at least there's a high chance for that bug to go down. There's a play here that you can confident that bug to remove the vulnerable, and yes, Allheal uses that. Very cool to see that.
That's a good play. Let's see if Sushi has enough to eliminate. He's now rich.
That looks like it's enough. That's a big attack coming in. Here we go. Jaguar comes in. Ronin, I think, to clear. Yep, that is the only play you could have done. And then a vulnerable attack with a little piece coming in from Sushinobi's side. And it is still even at this point. This is now Allheal's big turn. Is Allheal able to capitalize? Big attack right there. And there's an option to just go ham. You can use Axie Kiss. Is this enough to clear? 143 is almost just enough for this big Ronin attack to come in. Wow. Allheal is at an advantage right now, saving the Dino as well to have an extra offensive card to use later on. So that is
That
the
was
value of the
interesting.
Dino.
Now
That
Sushi though has the numbers game. At least the front line, at least the plan will absorb one more attack. But let's see what Ahil does here.
that is true. It is very scary to be on Sushi's side because of the positioning of the Dino right now. But the only thing is Sushi has this last turn to go rage
Yeah.
and get the win. Is this victory? Oh,
look at the
no.
cards, though.
That
Is that
is
enough?
bad. Is this enough? It is
yeah.
enough. Wow. Look at that, swords to get the win. And now it is 1-1 to both players. What
Wow.
a showcase.
Nice recovery from Sushi. And you know what? I had a feeling when he put down the tank of Ahil like quickly, I had a feeling he had this in the bag because again, Sushi's comp is like premeditated on just the fact that he needs to clear out Axie's ASAP.
Quickly, yeah.
To kind of eliminate the draw. Like give Ahil some shitty draws. By like having these revenge cards, and it kind of paid off when he was able to clear that frontliner of Ahil pretty quickly. So good recovery. He needed it. I wouldn't want to be in the 2-0 hole in this part of the series. Like you if you want to go to the championship, you kind of don't want to put yourself in a hole like that.
Correct. The more even the match is, the better the position is of Sushinobi as well, because he doesn't have a different comp. So he needs to steamroll his opponents, especially. So it is crucial for Sushinobi to have all of these wins early on. The only thing is, will Allheal switch?
Let's see. I think we're just about ready to see and go ahead into the next match. It's 1-1 Sushinobi Allheal. Let's see if we see some adjustments from Allheal. All right, interesting.
Let's
match
have
right here.
a look. Allheal has an option to go AoE. Does Allheal go for that, or just sticks to his gun and uses the Dino and has stuck? Choosing to keep. No change whatsoever. Little Branch goes back to the top of the deck. That is going to be used next turn to set up for a big rage turn for Allheal. I think that is what Allheal is planning to do. Belieber comes in to add rage. It is now 4 rage for Sushi.
I like what Sushi did. I've been thinking about that. He always had that cactus, but it's the first time he used it to get the taunt.
That's
I
true.
don't know. Like, what is he planning here? Is he trying to prolong the life of his frontline wine red bug?
I believe so. I believe that is the game plan of Sushi right now. Just to split up the damage. Because Sushi does not have the option of using Cocoon to have an early taunt. For example, with the ant comps, Sushi just plays the cactus whenever he draws it to split up the damage. But is this enough to keep this bug alive? It is a rage turn. That is a lot of cottontails as well. So this is a big turn right here.
I don't see Allheal like sparing this bug. He knows it's very important to Sushi, and he's definitely trying to get rid of it right now.
There was an option, I believe, to go Ronin first and connect with the Little Branch follow-up next turn. But because there is a lot of Cottontail energy, you just can Ronin in the end and double kill all of these Axies. So Allheal returned the favor. So now it is the reverse. Now Sushinobi is down to 1 Axie again. The only thing is, if you have an Axie that wants a 1v2, 1v3 scenario, it's the Shiba Axie. Because this can rage again. You don't want the Dino Axie to be the last Axie. So Sushi is still in this game.
Yeah, it's not even a good draw for Allheal, to be honest. Like, this is like a very ideal situation for Sushinobi, given the circumstances. But he's still kind of, 50, like he's not in a good position, but definitely a chance here for him.
There is a chance. The question is, do you keep this bug alive? I think you return the Ronin and set up for a bigger turn. Chooses to just go nuts and destroy that bug Cool play. Now the question is, does Allheal get the victory in this draw? And that's a lot of damage. Is this enough? It looks like it's enough. And full
no.
comes in. Wow. Allheal is advantaged again. 2-1 versus Sushi. So it is gonna be scary again for Sushi's side.
I don't know, like there's no adjustment that Sushi can literally hear. Like, so I don't want to pretend and say like, well, he adjusts. Like, there's nothing he can do. So Sushi's basically at the mercy of the card draw, of both, like of his card draw and Allheal's card draw. Like, there's nothing else he can do basically. Like, it wouldn't make sense to switch up the Axies for him, right? Like, because of how much of the value he's getting from the Shiba of the front line. So yeah. There's I don't see any adjustments. And Allheal definitely just.
What options does Sushi have? It's very limited, but for example, Sushi can rocket stamp if he wanted to target the beast backline. But you lose all of these Mask of Frenzies. You lose all of that unless
kill the backliner immediately and leave the bug like alone, right? Like, just let him be the last man stand.
It's hard though because there's a taunt that comes in, so you can't really go at it early on unless it is something that you do after the taunt is finished. So it's scary.
I have a question. If you have Earth Stamp in the current state of Earth Stamp, will it bypass taunt? Like, will it attack the frontliner?
No. Taunt will be prioritized every time. So that would be
a smart way if Earth Stamp worked that way. That would have been useful.
Yeah. Right now, I've not seen Earth Stamp get used. So yeah, I think that is the only option for Sushinobi if he wants to. But he got a win before. He might use it again and just keep to the same strategy. Try to get this victory this time. Because Sushi sometimes gets all of these beautiful draws that just destroy the opposing Axies. And that's a good start as well. Little branch early on turn 1. That is big. Because now Sushi's able to rage on turn 5 with a full amount of cards. As long as the bug survives. That is the key to the victory of Sushinobi. But this is a big attack as well from Allheal. Whew, that is scary to be on Sushi's side. Cactus comes in. That is big, though. Do you not use the Cactus as the thing to split up the damage? I'd like to have Cactus to split up the damage. But I think Sushi is believing that this bug will still survive this attack. It is going to be very scary, though.
I don't think so. That was his belief, but I don't think it's going to happen.
It is too scary. But with that thing that happened, with Sushi actually keeping this plant alive, Sushi is valuing Cottontail higher than the extra card draw from the bug.
You're right.
So let's see if this pays off.
He knew he would rage, and he did rage. So, it clears out the midliner.
Clears out the midline. This is a big, big turn. Now there's extra confidence coming in. That plant is gonna rage as well for a big Little Piece attack. And here we go. Little branch again, up to 9. Sushi is gonna rage again next turn.
And yeah, wow, that was interesting.
Very smart.
Sadly, he didn't have enough cards though, but that was as much as he could have done in that turn 5. Like, that was a huge turn 5.
Yeah, and I like that he used the confident to rage the front as well, because that reduces the damage on your Axie. And here we go, second rage turn. This is a big attack coming in. A lot. This is a swing turn right here. Is this enough? Sushi gets the win again.
Sushi, let's go. It's
what is happening?
Wow.
It's game number 5. It is the final game. Sushi got there with that play.
I like how we even we were concerned, like, oh no, he didn't use the Cactus, like he didn't use the thaw, like, but he ended up still making the right call, and it's just a testament really to what we discussed earlier. He knows this team. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're ruthless Reg, even if you're top player. He's saying, I know this team more than anyone because this is the only set of Axies that I have.
Yeah, that is the
right?
value. That is the value of mastering your team. So now we notice that Sushi prioritizes the plants in these matchups. The plant needs to survive, and actually that got him the win as well, because that plant was able to rage. That plant was able to get that extra energy, was able to reduce its rage stacks down to 0 again, so that it tanks a bit better. And yeah, it's very cool to see that in action. Choosing to keep the plant instead of the bug. I like it. It's very cool to see it.
100%. Let's see if there's any kind of adjustment here from Allheal. I don't know. He might just stick with it and ride this lineup that got him here. Here we go.
That is true. It is still anyone's game at this point. This is the clincher game. There is defense again coming in from Allheal's side. It is Sushinobi's turn too, which means the win con, or the play with the highest chance of winning, is to clear this bug as early as possible before Allheal's rage turn. And I think that is exactly what Sushi is going for. Just going nuts, attacking a lot. There's this confident being placed on the midline of Sushinobi, splitting up the rage stacks. Cool to see. Ooh, here we go. Vulnerable comes in. Now, this is a play where I'd cactus, because there's a vulnerable on the bug. It is too much damage, but there's no cactus option. There is rage option though. Boom! Big attack! And I think this bug goes down. That is one win condition cleared from Sushinobi. Destroy the bug before Allheal's rage turn.
Turn 4. He cleared that bug out in turn 4. That's huge.
That is very huge indeed. So now what Sushi needs to do is rage for a second time to get that big advantage. There's a lot of attacks coming in. Allheal has not raged yet. Chooses not to rage. Opts for a big rage turn next turn.
Oh, he did it. Oh, but the taunt. So that technically, Sushi can still shoot later on.
That is true. Sushi can still technically survive. This is a rage turn though. And this plant goes down as well. Wow, very offensive from Sushi.
He's in a good place right now, even with this rage turn right now.
Big attack. With these attacks being split up to these axes, that is a lot of time bought from Sushi's side, because Allheal could have opted to go with a weak attack followed by a big attack and then a follow-up to clear this beast. But because of the split from the cactus, there's a lot of time being bought from Sushi's side. And here we go. One more attack. That is up to 9 rage stacks, and it is down to Allheal's last turn. Is Allheal able to clear? This does not look like it's enough. Axie Kiss is not going to be enough. And then a follow-up.
3 revenge cards.
3 revenge cards. That is a problem. And now, Sushi is going to end it. Raging boom. Wow. 239 damage. That is it. Allheal is out of the match, out of the tournament. Wow, that is very cool.
I'm not sure like exactly how that happened, but Sushi basically proving that, you know, like he has the full confidence in his team. He thinks he can go the distance, and we'll see if he can indeed go the distance with it, because he is now assured a slot in the finals, in the championship match, where he will face Keylord.
Very interesting to see. All right, we've got the bracket updates right now. Keylord is in the championship. Sushinobi is in the championship as well. Allheal is knocked out of the competition from the lower bracket match versus Sushinobi. And now we've got a final roster lined up. It's Keylord versus Sushinobi. It is Keylord with a full 10 Axie pool that has poison, that has AoE, that has Rage Axies versus
Right.
Sushinobi's 3 Axies.
React.
It is wild.
But if you're Keylord, you're not using poison versus his rage. That's basically giving Sushinobi a free win.
Yeah,
So
that's out.
you have to think like, do you do the AOE? But then Sushi has this very interesting frontline bug with Shiba, which maybe if you use AOE, you're helping him hit the Shiba rage. So it's actually tough. Like it goes back now to the earlier conversation we had, where maybe the 3 Axies is an advantage. Like is he going different here? It's MVP. Keylord from MVP and Sushi from YGG. So it's also an interesting backstory here to.
It is gonna be very cool to see that in
I think
action.
we're
It
gonna
is.
take a quick break before we go into the championship match. So if you're watching, go ahead, go for that water break, go for that restroom break, get your snacks because this is finals.
This is the finals of the final day. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Poof. We're back. It is the finals of the final day. This is the Axie Origins Pro Cup 2022, hosted by AMPGuild, AMPGuild, We are here. I am Ruthless Reg. I am joined by my friend and colleague and co-caster Nixon Diego. We are here today witnessing history. This is the very first tournament in Thailand. We have had a lot of action so far, but right now what we are witnessing is something for the record, something for history. It is a 10 Axie pool competition. We're in the championship. One player has 10 Axies, the other player has 3 Axies, and they are playing for a huge amount of money. It is a 9,000 US dollar total prize pool. The winner of this final event takes home $2,000. That is a huge amount of money. And then 1,300 for the second, 1,100 for the third. Everyone goes home happy. They are now playing though for the big moolah.
Right.
How you feeling, my bro?
I'm pumped. I want to see the brackets. Let's kind of share with the rest of the viewers like how this all went down. As you can see, the first ever match was the lower bracket for this like top 4, where we saw Sushinobi go 3-0 versus Tons, and that's when we first saw. That's when we first saw the 3 Axies. Like, he wasn't changing it, and we looked at the data and he only had 3 Axies, and now Sushi is basically has played himself into the championship game, going all the way from the lower bracket, and that is not an easy task to do. So he will be facing Keylord, who has defeated Allheal previously, and as we saw the last match, Sushinobi powered his way through to beat Allheal, and now we have this brewing intense championship match between Keylord from MVP and Sushinobi from YGG.
Who do you feel is gonna take home the crown?
No, man, like I want to see history. I want to see the first time like a player just has like 3 exact Axies. Go ahead and win. But Keylord, there's the reason why he's in the upper bracket. Like he has dominated this tourney from the beginning. So I don't know, man, but I maybe I say Sushi, but it's not gonna be easy. This will be. I think this goes to 5. I think this series goes to 5 games.
Should be fun. Should be fun. That's what we want to see for the championship. Let's jump right in to the final event of the final day of the Pro Cup 2022. Ooh, initial attacks coming in from Sushinobi. Keylord is using AoE right now. That is gonna be cool to see. There is a lot of action happening. Belieber, that is a cool hybrid that we're seeing from Keylord. So usually the AoE has Earwing for the ears, but this is opting for Belieber, which I guess is also kind of AoE, splitting up the damage. But AOE, then this adds rage.
Yeah, it's an RNG AoE kind of method, but we see now Keylord has a lot of offensive cards right now. Wow.
Early, very early aggression right there. The backline of Sushi is going down soon. That Chubby has Scotch tape as well. Lucky though that Sushi is able to dish out a lot of damage now. Sushi needed that to stay in the game. So now what's gonna happen is Sushi now has a new game plan. The backline's going down.
Yeah,
the backline is going down.
Both Axies, like his front and midline, are well positioned to hit rage.
Yeah, you're right. You're very right indeed. Ooh, Chubby comes in. That's a lot of damage to everybody. Do you use the extra Cottontail to go for Ronin? I think you do. You try to dish out a lot of damage. 14 HP! That is staying alive to get raged, to get angry. And I think that is a big rage turn. Look at that, Shiba. Boom! 200 damage to make the midline go rage as well.
Oh, wow.
Up attack. Ouch, that is a lot of damage. Cactus raging on a vulnerable Axie. 154 damage. Wow. What is happening? This is crazy. This is wild.
For Keylord, Sushi has this in the bag. I don't see a scenario where he doesn't clear this out. He's definitely gonna get at least 2 swords at worst case, so he should win this.
That is
Yeah.
true. Here we go. Sushi gets the first win of the tournament of the series. This is wild. What is going on?
Sushi just threw the halberd. He didn't even use Jaguar. He's just like, yeah, eat this revenge card. Wow. So, an early 1-0 lead for Sushinobi. Again, he only has these 3 Axies. So if you're expecting any kind of adjustment here, you can bet your bottom dollar it's not going to come from Sushi's side. It's going to come from Keylord's side because he, as Reg mentioned earlier, he does have poison Axies. He does have some AoE comps here and there. So curious to see how Keylord will adjust here.
I think I'm scared to go AoE again now that I see it in action. Because Sushi has all of these other carry Axies, even if the back line goes down. That is how it's built. Even the front line has Imp. And Imp is actually a free card if you go Rage. And that bug can go Rage. So it is a lot of potential. There is a lot of things that can happen. Even if the back line of Sushi goes down. So yeah, it is cool to see.
Let's see game 2, and let's see if there's any adjustments at all. Will Keylord be able to tie the series, or will Sushi take the convincing 2-0 lead? Let's see how this match goes. Because actually, like, I love what you said there. Like, carry Axies. Like, that's... In any game, there's always that concept you have carry. But technically speaking, Sushi's other Axies are support Axies, but also can carry if needed. And that's why I think AoE is... for Keylord. So does he move away from the AoE comp? And I think he does. He does.
He left the AoE to the shelf, parked it, decides to go single target. I think that is the better play actually now that we see the AoE in action. And yep, so what Keylord has to do is go front to back right now, and that is what he is deciding to go for. There's an argument to just not play Ant and then attack and attack, just to copy what Sushi is doing, because that's working. But is it built the same way? It is not necessarily built the same way, so Keylord still has to use it.
Yeah. He doesn't have enough offense to do that, like, because his midliner is an offensive liability. So
yeah. We see that though sometimes there's an option to play it front. That is a big turn. That is raged too early for a rage, I believe, from Sushi's side.
I don't know why. I don't understand if that was necessary. Because he just used Belieber as well on the taunted. Like, was that a misplay, or was that really the best that Sushi could do at that moment?
I believe that was the best, and Sushi is trying to just cycle quickly through the cards.
He got it already. He had no choice.
Yeah. What the problem is with Sushi's deck is it does not have all of these nerdies, all of these larvas that we see in Keylord's team. So Keylord's team cycles quickly. So you can opt to not use things, while for Sushi's side, you just play with what you draw. And because that was what was drawn, you just have to play that card. And that is the limitation of, or one of the limitations of Sushi's comp. It explodes really well, but it also can break like that, like what we saw. And now it is very, very advantage Keylord at this point in time.
Right.
Is Sushi able to catch up though, is the thing.
I don't know, man. Like, it's interesting. Like, this is the first time I actually saw that the middle taunt bug actually get that much value, and he definitely did.
That's true. Ooh, Belieber going to the back line as well. I guess that's okay, but you're putting the opposing Axie down, but not out, and that is a problem because this is gonna go rage form now. And this is a big turn again. That is a lot of cards. And I think Sushi goes down with Keylord's attack. Wow. It is 1-1. Very close. This is a best of 5. So we still have a few more matches to witness. It is history in the making right now. It is even. Sushi was ahead and Keylord was able to equalize. That was the equalizer right there. So it is scary.
I think it's getting interesting now, especially that Keylord is able to adjust. So I wonder if he rolls again with that same team. Again, Sushi cannot adjust, but he did get, I think that was important that he got the first win. Like, that gives him a chance to win the series because Keylord has a lot of options. He's a good player. He might be able to kind of figure things out. But so every win that Sushi can get when Keylord makes mistakes is going to be important because he has no room for error. That's the downside of this 3 Axie pool. Like, he has no room for error, no room for mistakes, and luck. Lady Luck has to be on his side most of the time. At least 2 more times if he were to win this championship.
You're right. You're very right indeed. What is interesting to note, though, is we saw Sushi win against AoE but lose to single target. So it is... But on the flip side, we saw Sushi dominate with his Axies versus single target as well. So I believe Sushi thinks he is still okay. He is still well positioned. It's just that was a big whiff in terms of the cards.
He did get a bad, like he didn't have that weird draw. He got all the cards. He was forced to rage. Then he just ended up like the mid bug just kept on tanking everything. So he had that weird sequence where I think at that moment he already lost the game, at least from the way it looked, and it was proven at the end. So yeah, he's really reliant on the card draws here, and things to fall perfectly for him. But yeah, I'm not saying like there's no, it's not saying that Sushi's lineup can't go the distance, because he's shown that it could. It's just harder for him, like with no other option. It's just a little bit harder. But I think he did the math. I think he did all the simulations, and he felt that he was confident enough to have that roster and has high enough win rate to win any matchup. So we'll see. We'll see if he takes the next game.
Let's jump right in. This is game number 3, Sushinobi versus Keylord for the finals. Whoever wins this takes home $2,000. There's an early cactus that you can use. Sushi opts not to use the cactus again, chooses to return it though.
Yeah.
So that will be a next turn cactus.
I think he'll use it in the next turn.
It looks like he's changing strategy.
Last time he did that, he lost to Allheal like one game, but let's see if things change right now.
That's true. I still need to... Oh, no Ant from Keylord as well. Interesting. That is... I'm not sure about that play because this Axie has vulnerable. This plant has vulnerable. So it is scary to not use the Ant. But I think... Yeah, Keylord is trying to rush. This team can rush. Is it enough though? Is the question. Look at that card draw. A lot of card draw. Wow. Drawing all of these cards. That is the power of Keylord's comp. That's why there's an option to go aggressive.
That's the value. He
Very
could
impressive.
But he can win right now as well.
Here we go. Counter attack coming in from Sushinobi. 248. It stays alive though is the problem. But Sushi is gonna rage again. Is the thing. There's a chance. Does this clear? That looks like it clears. It is still anyone's game at this point.
It's gonna be easier to clear out this bug and get to the backliner now. And he's well positioned to rage right now. He did.
He went for the rage. Applies a vulnerable next turn. I like that play. Removing the rage means you have no more rage extra damage to yourself. So now Sushi is hoping for Keylord to brick. Does Keylord brick is the question. Oh, no. This is a sword.
No.
Keylord can return a card to get extra damage. Is this enough? Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Keylord got the win. Keylord got the Ronin and got the victory from Sushinobi. Wow. Wow, well done. What just happened right there? I was so impressed with that draw. That was a victory out of nowhere from Keylord. Got the win, got the championship, got the $2,000 with one Ronin attack. That was enough to clinch the victory.
Is this finals? Like I think it's just 2-1 right now.
Is it?
Or is it over? I don't know. Like I mean, it's just 2-1.
It's 2-1. It is 2-1. Sorry, I was excited. I was too excited. It was 2-1. It is best of 5, but we are right with MVP Keylord leading it right now.
Yeah,
so the $2,000 is in sight for Keylord right now.
That is
that is very scary. Advantage Keylord right now.
I'm thinking right now, like if you're in this position, like Keylord's heartbeat away from the championship, from the 2K, like what is he feeling right now? Like is he, like there's a lot more pressure on him now than Sushi, because Sushi has nothing to lose. So I'm actually to see how this next game goes.
It is going to be exciting to see that in action. Here we go. Keylord is now playing with the same comp, chooses to keep the same comp, and he was rewarded from not playing the Ant as well, because he went very aggressive and got the win by not playing the Ant. So there's an argument. Do you just not play the Ant in this matchup? Do you just go and attack if you draw those cards? Keylord did return the Ant though, so there will be some taunt action.
We'll see if it's just an option for him. I like what he did in that last game. That was perfect.
Very offensive from Keylord's side. There is a strong play. There's no other card to play, so you do play the Ant here, and it is a good timing as well because there's a vulnerable on the plant. So now this bug will survive, will take all of this. Does it survive though is the question. There is a lot of raging happening. Is this enough? Oh no, that was Sushi's rage turn. Is there gonna be another rage turn though is the question. Big Shiba made it possible. There's now 5 rage again on the backline. However, Keylord is gonna go nuts right now. Little Piece comes in. Little Branch clears the... Ronin is gonna come in after this Axie kiss, and that is a 5 energy. Ronin, that is a big attack. Boom, 299. That is going down. Keylord has the victory in sight right now. Does Sushi clinch it? Oh, wow, this is scary. 2 HP, 267 damage. It is not going to Sushinobi's side. Keylord is having a strong lead right now and is gonna dish out a lot of damage again. Little Branch comes in. Look at that. A lot of rage. And now, the final turn. It is advantage Keylord right now. Does Keylord get the win and is crowned the Pro Cup 2022 champion? Here we go. History in the making. Little Piece and one final branch. Boom. Victory gets the win. 291 damage and a dream. That is how you get the championship crown. Pro Cup 2022, $2,000 for Keylord right there. Wow! Look at that. It is intense. I am still hyped. The champion is MVP Keylord. Look at that. Well done, Keylord. Wow.
Great series. It was insane. Keylord, hats off to you. Sushi played well, given the fact that he had only 3 Axies in his inventory. That was an insane series. I think, this is actually a testament to having that flexibility. Like, I wonder if Sushi's kind of like kicking himself now, like, should I brought more Axies? Like, he definitely has a lot of Axies, guys. So don't, maybe some of you might be thinking, maybe he only had 3. No, he has a lot of Axies, but it was a decision he made. But I'm curious to see, like, if there could have been, if this story could have been different though, right? You always have to think, like, would this have been different if I had more Axies? But maybe he got to the finals because he just had those 3 Axies. So you could make the argument for each side, but definitely an intense series, well played by Keylord. What do you think was the key there for that last match for Keylord?
It was that big Ronin turn that actually cleared both Axies. That was what brought Keylord to the finish line, I believe, because follow-up attacks after clearing 2 Axies in 1 rage turn is gonna be quite doable, being in Keylord's position. So I think that was actually the clincher that got Keylord the victory. So that was an intense match. That was a wild match.
One thing that I kind of like, also was an eye opener for me with Keylord's lineup was just how he was able to abuse basically the trickster charm, which will be different now in season 2, right? But right in its current state, that trickster just keeps getting all the cards, getting the larva, cycles through, gets what he needs.
Yeah.
Clear is what he needs. Like, he needs to clear the Axie. So that was an option that Sushi just didn't have, and I guess that spelled the difference between first place and second place in this tournament. But again, well played. No one's going home frowning here. They all go home with a significant prize on their pockets, and yeah, it's awesome to see these players fighting it out for a great, good sized prize pool, and that's distributed kind of like evenly across the board.
Yep, no one's sad basically with a prize payout. Keylord takes home the crown and $2,000. Sushinobi takes home $1,300, and Allheal takes home $1,100. So everyone is happy, I believe. That is the prize payout of this Pro Cup. Everyone goes home happy, and everyone is very, very just done, tired. They said, "I've finished the Pro Cup. I've done it. I've got the win. Let me take my rest." And yet, they deserve it. From 475 participants down to the champion. What a journey.
To thank also every single viewer who's stayed with us on a stream, whether you watch on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you're watching from. Thank you so much for being here and being part of history. Again, this is the first kind of official, esports tournament, or Axie Esports tournament organized from Thailand, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing more of these. So thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for riding hard, playing grind, watching the series, supporting your favorite players, and just being here, especially as well to the guild partners and the influencer partners for making this so possible. So thank you guys so much. That support is always appreciated, and we're happy, we're proud of the players, and yeah, I'm just pumped. I just want to know when the next
Same.
When's the next
Huge shout out as well to AMPGuild, AMPGuild, for actually making all of this happen, organizing this, connecting with everyone, making this production really good. That was a journey. That is a great journey, and I'm happy to be part of it. I am Ruthless Reg. I am joined by Nix and Inigo, and this is the 2022 Axie Origins Pro Cup.
See ya.